In with the old, out with the new. There's no limit to what a Kiwi can do. Though, I'm not sure how to go about this. Yeah, hey Jeff, I have a Kiwi question. Do you shave it or do you wax it? Well, I've never had to deal with this with grapefruit or anything else. Oh, really? Okay, I never knew it was that easy to enjoy. Thanks, man. What is going on, guys? Will here. Welcome to the video on this channel, my channel. We have started this series where we review programs to see if they are worth it. So we've looked at Athlete X, we have looked at V-Shred, and now it's time to look at the Bill Nye of the fitness industry, Jeff Nippard. So he offers a wide variety of programs, and I'm gonna buy two, a training one and a diet one. I'm gonna try them out today, let you guys know what I think, and if you should buy it too. So I went to jeffnippard.com and I went with the program that I thought would be the most popular amongst a lot of people, which was the push-pull legs program. So I bought that for $39.99. And then I went to the nutrition plans and I saw he has the Body Recomposition guide. So right away it says, build muscle and lose fat at the same time. And if you're into fitness, that is exciting. That's like when a frat guy hears the three magic words, I'm a virgin. So of course, when I saw that, I had to buy it, take my wallet, have my firstborn child. So with this program, you get calories, macros, micros, sample meal plan, cardio, supplements, pretty much everything besides him spoon feeding you and telling you guys how many times to chew. So I bought that for $49.99, bringing the total for both programs to $101. And just like me, the payload was instantaneous as it's just downloadable. So I'm gonna take a look right now and then we're gonna get on with the day. We are going to be using the sample plan from the Body Recomposition guide for males 180 to 200 pounds, 12 to 15% body fat. So he doesn't believe in a strict meal plan. However, he's provided us with an example with the strategies talked about in this book. And right away on page 1, chapter 1, he says he doesn't like the age-old saying, it's not how you start, but rather how you finish. And someone who starts and finishes are almost impossible to distinguish. I couldn't agree more because it undervalues the importance of starting because, you know, every day is a new day. And one day sets you up for the next day. So if you're gonna start something, go in full force, don't ease your way in, just go in 100% effort. So we're gonna make meal number 1, get this down, have one more meal, and then we're heading to the gym. So for breakfast, we had the option of making this meal breakfast or the last meal of the day. And for me, there's no chance 4 ounces of meat is gonna satisfy me before bed. So we're making it for breakfast. So we have 4 ounces of bottom round steak, the cheapest cut. I'm pretty sure the cow doesn't even want it, but on the bright side, it has good macros. We have 1 egg, and then for some excitement and some greenery, we got some broccoli. And then he's earning my trust pretty early on with some Greek yogurt. So I'm feeling pretty optimistic about the day. So I would say pretty low carb meal, high fat, good amount of protein. Looks pretty good, so we're gonna dig in. So we got 1 egg, 1 yolk. So just like me, so I have to learn how to disperse the load evenly here. Dip it into the yolk. Overcook that bad boy aggressively. I just wish I could have gave that meat some more love, aka marination. Not bad though. So obviously, when you're trying to achieve body recomposition, the amount of calories that you eat and what you eat plays a huge factor. And how many calories you actually start with is determined by your body fat percentage and of course, how many years have you been training. So for example, in the book, it says, the more of a beginner you are in the gym, the more you can get away with a higher calorie surplus. The more advanced you are, you don't need that much. So in his book, it says if you're a beginner lifter, you can have a 25% increase in your caloric intake. Whereas if you're like an advanced athlete, only 10 to 15%. So don't think, you know, if you've been training for like 6 years, you need a 500 calorie surplus to build muscle because you use that in your first year. It always varies. So make sure to not overdo it. If you're starting off, maybe bump the calories up a little bit more than if you were advanced. It tastes like bear bait. Time for meal number 2, which is gonna be the pre-workout meal that he says is the most important meal of the day. You should have all the macros and water. And when it comes to carbs, you should have 1 gram of carbs per kilogram of body weight that you weigh. So if you're 80 kilograms, you should have 80 grams of carbs pre-workout. So for this meal, we had a choice, and I went with oatmeal. Not my preferred crop to enjoy rolls, but we're gonna go with it. Gonna put this together and then head to the gym very shortly. Always salt your oatmeal, guys. Do not knock it until you try it. It brings the flavors out. It's amazing. Now we gotta watch it so it doesn't overflow and my mom kills me because it goes everywhere. That's the game you gotta play with oatmeal. So we got 80 grams of oats cooked up. So now we're gonna add a scoop of some protein powder. Give that a mix. I love protein oats. This reminds me of when I first started working out. Don't eat it anymore because I could probably do a 10K and just protein oatmeal. Do you guys want to see that? Comment down below. I'm sure a lot of you guys actually do. I'm sensing some light choking. Okay, so oatmeal is in, and now we're gonna add in 5 milliliters, which is 1 teaspoon of coconut oil, which does not sound like a whole lot, but in my world that invites much, much more to follow. So around 5 grams, there we go, on the dot. Mix that in. Some good quality fats. This even helps lube up oatmeal too. I actually just opened it all up. Okay, there we go. And now to top it all off, we're going with 140 grams of blueberries, a tasty fruit, but there's definitely other bushes I'd rather eat from. So 140 grams. And then its ugly cousin, some raisins. Reminds me of my time in the ice bath with the Good Book Club boys. So only 15 grams. And there we go. That is meal number 2, AKA the pre-workout meal. This oatmeal is like a work of art. Like, look how thick that is. I'm excited. It's pretty much gonna be dessert. And what does this remind you of, Coffee?
I don't know, man, but I like my oatmeal like I like my...
This is a children's channel.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, what it does look like is actually an out-of-date Tinder picture because it's obscuring the caloric uptick from the coconut oil. I don't see why you need to do that. Like some innocent boy will come and just be like, oh, 80 grams of oats is this many calories? Nope, little do they know. There's 5 milliliters of coconut oil added in here, but I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. The raisins hydrate, the blueberries kind of cook when they're frozen. Nice little pop, delicious. Had a crazy pull session this morning, so we're gonna do the opposite and do a push workout today. So chest, shoulders, and triceps. So obviously, when you do push-pull legs, you're hitting every muscle group twice per week. So you're doing push-pull legs, usually an off day, and then push-pull legs again. So he is a big proponent of doing a warm-up before you're lifting. So we're gonna do 5 to 10 minutes, low intensity cardio, followed by some optional stretching that he provides within the program, and then we're gonna get to the workout. Okay, so how this program is set up is that there is 2 8-week blocks. So we're starting off with bench press, 3 sets of 4 reps. And for your main compound movements, you're doing percentages of your 1 rep max. So today we're doing 75% for 3 sets of 4. This week is pretty much just about getting the form down, executing the movements right. Whereas when you get into block number 2, it's very physically demanding. So it's just kind of easing our way into things. So 3 sets of 4, bench press. Bench press feels so weird. So I haven't bench pressed in a couple months. I've been strictly dumbbell lately, and it's crazy how fast you lose it. I'm like, unrocking it, I'm like, oh wait, it's a bar. I'm about to get into the 3rd set of 4 on the bench press. It's not that difficult, it's only 75%, 250 pounds for me is nothing. And I know a lot of people who do this will have the urge to bump the weight up or skip this week, and I just highly recommend that you don't. There's a reason that it's there, and if you do that, it will creep up on you. Just this program gets harder and harder. It adds like a couple % every single week. So don't skip it. He put it in for a reason, and just follow the plan. Time for some shoulders. So on this program, if you don't like a movement that he has for you, you can easily swap it out. So he has a massive database of different exercise options of the similar type of movement pattern, because even a cowgirl's favorite pony needs a new rider every once in a while. So we're gonna swap out the seated dumbbell shoulder press and go to the seated barbell press. Okay, so we're gonna do 3 sets, 8 to 10 reps, RPE 7. So that means rate of perceived exertion. This is more of an advanced technique. And RPE 7 means you have 3 left in the tank, whereas 10 is like the failure, 9 is 1 rep in the tank, 8 is 2 left in the tank. This takes a lot of time to master, so similar to the bench press, not crazy intensity, just getting the movement down. Third exercise of the day is the weighted dip, 3 sets, 6 to 10 reps. It's gonna be a lot more difficult after just doing the seated shoulder press, which is why I usually don't like doing push days, because I feel like the chest or the shoulders get compromised in some way because you're using just so much pushing. So that's why I usually like to split up my chest and my shoulders, but for today, we're gonna do it all at one time. So going again, a little bit lighter, RPE 7, 3 sets, 6 to 10 reps. Next exercise we are doing is the low to high cable flies. I kept on saying fries for some reason. I must be hungry, Kofi.
Same.
Yeah,
Same.
So low to high cable flies, 3 sets, 12 to 15. Great for the upper chest. So if you wear a V-neck or a deep shirt, go to the club, do a bunch of these. They'll be nice and carved out for you. Building those butt cheeks, boys and girls. Or whatever you are. Everyone's allowed here. Woo. We got 2 exercises left, and now we're moving on to the triceps. We're gonna do some dumbbell overhead skull crushers. Great for the long head of the tricep. If I had to pick one type of exercise for the tricep, it would be for your long head, the biggest head on your arm. Makes your arm look really fat and juicy. So 3 sets, 12 reps. Just gonna wrap up the workout, 3 sets, 15 reps, dumbbell lateral raise. Workout is a wrap, and now it's time.
Well, we got one more exercise.
We do?
Yeah, man, there's one more.
If you're wondering, there's some ab training on this program. Okay, 3 sets, 6 reps, ab roller. It's done. Pretty much like powerlifting for your abs. Can I eat now?
Yeah, I guess you can.
Yeah, thank you. Finally, time for the post-workout meal that he said should be spaced apart around 4 to 5 hours from your pre-workout meal. So we have 60 grams of whey, 130 gram banana, ballpark around 8 or 9 inches, and then it said a Rice Krispie treat or a Kirkland soft chew. So I went with a Rice Krispie treat. Couldn't find the regular size ones because, as always, the jumbo ones are the ones that find me. So good amount of carbs, and for some reason, bodybuilders love like Rice Krispies, Pop-Tarts post-workout. I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to enjoy it. Tastes like childhood, man. So you must notice by now, we've had the broccoli in meal number 1, we've had the blueberries in meal number 2, and now we have a banana. So he has some micronutrient commandments in the Body Recomposition Guide that says you should have around 3 to 4 servings of green vegetables per day, 1 to 2 servings of fruit per day, and try to vary those sources, as well as 1 to 2 servings of fatty fish per week. If you don't get that, consider using a fish oil pill. So he's very much focused on micronutrients as well, not just the macros. Meal number 4, we have 50 grams of brown rice, 50 grams of lentils, 75 grams of broccoli again, 70 grams of Kirkland guacamole, and then 1.5, they're supposed to be burgers, but it looks like a kind of a salmon scramble, but salmon burgers from Kirkland. So I think somebody's trying to chase a Costco sponsorship. I don't know. So lentils, brown rice looks as dry as when I found out George Clooney just got married. But let's give it a shot. Not half bad, not half bad. Definitely need some guacamole. Reminds me of those ever so personal wake-up calls in Mexico, and it wasn't even $2 extra. I've never had a salmon burger in my entire life. This is like a Greek style with feta and spinach. So last meal, we talked about his micronutrient commandments, but for macros and calories, he recommends that you have 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per every pound of lean body mass that you have. He talks about how you find that with a formula in his book, and then 25 to 35% of your calories coming from fat, and then the rest coming from carbs. You should space your meals out within like 4 to 6 meals, spaced out every 3 to 5 hours for optimum protein synthesis uptime. Currently on a walk right now, getting my steps in for my cardio. So it has been shown that the more cardio that you do and the more intense that you do it, it can hinder your muscle building potential. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it, it just makes things a little bit more difficult. So that's why Jeff says to keep your cardio to an effective minimum and don't see it as the answer, but rather a tool to help you with some fat loss. So he does recommend things like low intensity steady state list cardio up to 5 times per week, and things like HIIT cardio, high intensity interval training, no more than 2 times per week, because that will hinder your recovery with your muscle building. So things like walking, you know, Stairmaster, incline treadmill are great options for around 30 to 45 minutes. And quick little pro tip, if you're gonna go for a walk, make sure you go with a purpose. Time for meal number 5, I think. So we are having some 80-20 ground beef, sweet potato, asparagus, and then of course, a kiwi, a big part of Jeff's brand. He calls it the one true superfruit, obviously underestimating the explosive dopamine release of a morning juicy grapefruit. But I feel like a kiwi is a very underrated fruit. What do you think, Katie, as you're snacking away? And what is that you're snacking on?
A whole bag of pretzels.
A whole bag of pretzels.
I like kiwis.
You like kiwis? What
I like the texture.
You do?
Yeah, like the little seeds in the middle.
Adding to the whole kiwi talk, he did say that enjoying 2 kiwis before bed can drastically improve your sleep, something I've extensively verified during my time in New Zealand. So let's give it a taste. I did peel it off today. Oh, it's a ripe one. Let's get into this ground beef. A lot more enjoyable of a beef than this morning. It's crazy, it's not even like the same animal. No 2 cows are the same. They're like snowflakes. And we've got some asparagus and have some smelly pea tonight, Katie.
Woo!
You excited?
Fired up.
I feel like everyone who does a Jeff Nippard program, I'll now know. You go to the urinal, like, what program are you running? You know, I'll just know. I love a good asparagus pea smell. What do you guys like? Comment down below. I did forget to mention, when I was talking about the protein intake, where you should have 1.2 to 1.6 grams per pound of lean body mass, that the leaner you are, you should be towards the higher end of that. So if you're very lean, have 1.6 grams of lean body mass, whereas if you have extra body fat, you can go towards the lower end. The leaner you are, the more protein that you need, because you have an easier chance of losing muscle. Total calories for the day have come out to 2,846. You're looking at 75 grams of fat, 295 grams of carbs, and 244 grams of protein. A lot more fat than what I typically have, which is why I felt very satiated during the day. You know, I liked the food choices, I loved the meals, I enjoyed it, and there's gonna be some things going forward that I'm gonna start to implement, like those salmon burgers are amazing. So in terms of the programs, they're phenomenal. In terms of the training, you know, I took a look at the whole entire program. Great exercise selection, great workouts, very well balanced. It offers a lot of information beyond just the program itself, and most importantly, it's malleable to your personal needs. Even though it is, you know, a generic program, you can really make it what you want. He just encourages, you know, it's open to interpretation, it seems like, and he just wants you to enjoy what you're doing at the end of the day. In terms of the diet, exact same thing. Very malleable approach to your specific needs, and it's just all about you adhering to a diet that you enjoy. And I'd say the only downside to these programs is that it is very overwhelming. There is so much information. Like, that body recomposition guide has like almost 300 pages. It's like so much information. I wouldn't even call them programs, I would call them courses. It's very clear that he wasn't trying to make a quick buck when he made these. He definitely poured his heart and soul into these things, and you can definitely see it. I know that when you finish these types of programs, you have enough knowledge to make one on your own going forward, and I think that's invaluable. So I highly recommend both of these. So if you guys are looking at buying them, I'd recommend doing it. I think the information is awesome, and I just think you can't go wrong. So I am gonna wrap up the video here. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one.